Hi everyone! Today I will be showing you how to create this very simple and very beautiful flower cupcakes. So let's get decorating! First, let's start baking our simple and moist chocolate cupcakes. In a bowl, add 1.5 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon baking soda, half a teaspoon of salt, half a cup of chocolate powder, and 1.25 cup of sugar. Sift everything together, then mix before adding in the wet ingredients. For the wet ingredients, we're gonna add 1 medium egg, 1/4 cup of coffee, 1/4 cup of vegetable oil, 1 cup water, 1 teaspoon vinegar, 1/4 cup of yogurt, and this is optional but you can add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Mix everything until well combined. Line your cupcake tin with cupcake paper liners, and using an ice cream scoop, just scoop 2/3 the way full because the cupcakes will rise up enough. This recipe will make 13 to 15 cupcakes depending on how full you fill up your cupcake liners. Bake the cupcakes in a preheated oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 180 degrees Celsius for 18 to 20 minutes or until toothpick inserted in the middle comes out clean. Cool your cupcakes in a wire rack before decorating. Okay, now it's time to decorate our cupcakes and create our beautiful flowers. We will be using just a simple American buttercream icing for this. Just make sure that your buttercream is a little bit stiffer than usual. You do this by adding a little bit more powdered sugar to your regular recipe. For our first flower cupcakes, we will be making this lovely pink scabiosa. For this flower, I colored my buttercream frosting light pink and I used a petal piping tip 1, 2, 3 for this. First, make sure that you don't overfill your piping bag so it will be easier to handle and to squeeze the buttercream out. Make sure that the thicker tip is in the bottom and the thinner tip is on top so the outer petals will look thinner. Okay, now all you have to do is squeeze the piping bag gently, making an upside down U motion for the petals. The beautiful thing about this piping tip is it creates these ruffles for a very lively looking petals. Now you can do just 1 or 2 layers of petals for your cupcakes, but here I'll show you how it looks like with 4 beautiful layers of petals. Just make sure you pipe smaller and lesser petals on top of each layer. Then to finish up this flower, I used a round piping tip in number 5 and I just dolloped a few dots of yellow buttercream in the center to finish this beautiful flower. Okay, and for our second flower, we will be making these beautiful pink carnations. So I put together a little bit of white buttercream with my light pink buttercream inside 1 piping bag to create a gradient and realistic color for our cupcakes. We will be using the same petal piping tip to make our lives easier. So to start, make sure that the thicker or fatter side of the piping tip is down in the center of the cupcake. Squeeze and rotate your cupcake to create the center of the flower. Then just start wrapping the center with more petals by squeezing and gently making a wave motion to create more ruffles, just like a real carnation. When you reach the outer part of the flower, try not to make the wave motion as much so it won't create as much ruffles. And also squeeze the piping tip in an angle when you get to the outward part of the petals, as the outer part of the petals should look more open. I love creating these beautiful carnation flowers because they're so easy to make and they always turn out so beautiful. And for the last flower, we will be making these beautiful and bright sunflowers. I colored my buttercream using lemon yellow food gel, and I am using a leaf piping tip 57 to pipe the sunflower petals. We will simply squeeze the piping bag a little and pull off for the piping motion of this flower. Then after we filled the outer circle of the cupcakes, we will squeeze another layer of petals on top of the first layers of petals. Make sure to pipe the second layer of petals in between the two existing first layer of petals. Now this is completely optional, but I colored more buttercream with a darker tint of yellow for the inner petals. This will help create a more realistic colored sunflower. And since we made chocolate cupcakes as the base for these flowers, we don't have to pipe brown buttercream for the center. But if you made a different colored cupcake, you simply pipe chocolate buttercream in the center for the cupcakes. We will be using the same round number 5 piping tip for the center and simply dollop tiny dots until you have covered the entire center of the cupcake. And there we have our chocolate flower cupcakes. I hope you liked this video, and if you learned from this tutorial, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to see more of my flower themed cupcake tutorials. See you next time!